Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
This is Cafe Mocha Radio from a woman's perspective with Emmy Award-winning talk show host Loni Love, rap diva Yo-Yo. I'm the producer, Angelique. This week, we're talking to Real Housewife of the Potomac, Stacey Rusch. She went from QVC to cannabis. Plus, actress Edwina Findley invites us to embrace our calling and manifest our dreams. Welcome to Cafe Mocha. Loni. I'm sorry. I know you remember back, what was it, during the pandemic sometime, 2022, 2023, where the dude from the show 911 refused to take the vaccine. You know, everybody's going back to work. You know, everybody's happy in Hollywood to be going back to work. And he refuses to take the vaccine. And so they, you know, the people in 911 set him to the side and said, look, if you don't take the vaccine, you ain't gonna work. So he sued. And he lost. I know you follow all this stuff. What's his name?
Rockman Dunbar. Y'all know Rockman. He was...
What role does he play on that?
He played... First of all, he's been in Hollywood for centuries, right? And he played on the 911 as the ex-husband of Angela Bassett. And so this was like a great role for him. Earlier, a couple of weeks ago, 8-member federal jury found in favor of Disney. And basically what he tried to sue the company, alleging that the production failed in accommodating his belief in the tenets of the Congregation of Universal Wisdom.
Could you say in English, please? Basically, you know, they had the religious exemption. If you didn't want to take the shot, all you had to do was say, oh, I'm this religion. My religion prohibits me from taking the shot. So that's the stunt he was trying to pull. I'm sorry, I should not call it a stunt. That is very disrespectful to the religion he partakes in. And what religion is that, like?
It is called the Congregation of Universal Wisdom, and it supposedly disapproves of vaccines and other medical interventions. So he said that basically, quote, man created the COVID-19 vaccine to separate you from God. This is spiritual war. This is a war of evil against good. And I stood on the right side of good. I stood on the right side of God. I stood on the shoulders of God.
I'm sorry. I hate it, but he also was making $100,000 an episode on a hit show on ABC. How about standing on the principle of being able to feed your family? How about standing on that principle? Because see what? Listen, again, I am not trying to be disrespectful to anyone's religion, but what I'm going to say is this: God also gives us gifts. You know, he's a performer. This is a gift. It's a gift that he was meant to share. And for years, he's been doing these little low budget. I'm not going to call them low budget. I'm just going to say he has predominantly been known in the Black community for doing Black movies, making Black money. All of a sudden, he gets on the radar. I'm not saying he didn't do, one episode on Law and Order or one episode over here and on other major white shows. But this is a major show. Is $100,000 per episode. Why are you gonna get that up?
Well, first of all, this is my view on it is that if he really believed it, there's nothing wrong with believing that. The question is not what he's saying. The question is is he really saying that, or is he using it as an excuse? And so what the Disney attorneys did was that they researched his medical records. When they researched his medical records, they found that he had taken like 32 medical medicines. So including steroids and
wait.
testosterone.
He was taking steroids and testosterone, but he won't take the COVID shot?
And that's what made him lose the case. It's like if you and when they asked him about it, he said, "Well, I'm not perfect." And we're like, "Okay." But
I'm sorry. $100,000 an episode.
Well, the thing is, he lost because it didn't seem like he was sincere in his beliefs. That's what it was. And he was trying to use it as an excuse. I also want to say that, you have a lot of people that have these conspiracy theories against the vaccine and all of that. But during that time, like we had, my friend Michael Yo, who is a comic, he almost died from COVID. He was in the hospital, and we'll have him on the show to tell his story. So he tried to say on the stand that the vaccine had dead fetus bodies and it had 4 other unexplained things. So, of course, Disney brought in doctors that actually, refuted that. They brought in the scientists that refuted it, that said nothing like that was in the vaccine. So it was this back and forth about what he thought because he was listening to conspiracies. And in the end, he ended up losing. I mean,
wait. I'm sorry. I should not be this way. Because I really do feel for his wife and his children. And I'm sure they're kind of going to lose a lot because these white companies, once you try to sue Disney, ABC/Disney, these other major white networks and streamers aren't going to want to hire him and pay him $100,000 per episode. But what I'm going to say is that I could just hear his boys in the background going, "Yo, Rockman, don't take that, man. Don't take that vaccine. Just sue them. They got that religion." I can just hear them filling his ear with freaking nonsense. "Yeah, man, go ahead. Sue him. You're going to make a grip." Anyway.
And the thing is, he lost. He's used his retirement. He's financially hurt. I want to also say that, when they're on the set, when they were on the set, there were people that had autoimmune deficiencies. So that was another reason why they were really strict on the 911 set, because they knew that they had people that actually, if they got sick, they really could die. So all in all, when they read the testimony, Rockman, basically, he couldn't believe it. He quote shouted, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." He turned, he looked at his family. He says, I'm sorry, but we'll get through this. Because he is basically, he rolled the dice and he really lost on this. And I really feel bad because I know of him, but I also do know that we have to stop believing everything that we see online. We have to stop in conspiracy theories and really look at science and really, get back to common sense practices. And we wish him well, but in this instance, he lost. So
thank you, Loni. Make sure you follow us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio. Up next, Stacey Rusch from Real Housewives of the Potomac.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha with Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique on the line. We love her. And this is her second season on the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's the one and only Stacey Rusch. Hey, Stacey, how you doing, girl?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hello, welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Thank you for having me.
This is your second season on the Real Housewives of Potomac. And right out the gate, your castmates have put you, you in the hot seat. But you could take it, though. Why do you think some of the ladies keep making your personal life their focus?
They are putting me through it, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I have such a full life. There's so much that I want to talk about and that I want to share. I just don't know why they aren't sharing those things in their lives. Like, why are they talking about me and questioning me so hard? I don't know. It's been difficult. It's been difficult.
Yeah, but you've been handling it. And, I think to me, Stacey, a lot of people forget this is real life. So how do you handle a stressful day after filming?
Well, I immediately go home. I find peace with my family. I have a 9-year-old, so I'm all about mommy life and spending as much time as I can with her. I realize that, time like sand is running through my fingertips when we talk about my daughter's childhood. But when she goes to bed, I pop a gummy and relax, and I don't let things bother me. I let things roll off my shoulders, and I know who I am, and I just keep pushing on. Honestly, that's just who I am. I just don't let things bother me because I am so confident in who I am and my intention and my place in trying my best on this platform and with these ladies to bring peace and unity despite, the drama and the pushback that I receive.
Okay, come on, pop my gummy. This is season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And I remember when it first started, which I love the show. And because it is a milestone year, some familiar faces are coming back, like Monique Samuels. They make their return. What is it like having her on the show in the mix this season?
I think it's great. I was very excited to see the other ladies welcome her in the way that they did. I don't know Monique. It was my first time meeting her, but the other ladies were very happy that she was back. And so I love sisterhood. The more the merrier,
Yeah. We all know about, Karen Huger and her DUI. She was in prison. She got an early release. Will she return for season 10 before you all wrap?
I think you'll have to stay tuned.
Ooh.
I will say this. I know that everybody wants to see her return. So hopefully, we give the people what they want. We all want to see her return, right?
Yeah.
Karen Huger is the foundation of RHOP. Karen Huger built this franchise, and she's an integral part of our cast. So we are all waiting for her to come back, and you'll have to stay tuned and see when that happens.
Have you spoken to her personally?
I have not spoken to Karen since she was released. I haven't. I have prayed for Karen. I have sent her well wishes, but I haven't spoken to her since she was released.
Got it. It's Cafe Mocha. We're talking to the Real Housewives of Potomac star Stacey Rusch. Stacey, fans really want to know how you are doing in your personal life. We already seen on the show that it appears that you have reconciled with your baby boy, your husband, after getting divorced. Could we see a vow renewal? I mean, I could be the flower girl, if so.
I would love that. I'm gonna hold you to that, okay?
Stop it. You know that ain't true.
Wait, but wait, that Bella is gonna have to fight you over that role. Bella is gonna fight you.
Yeah.
Listen, when you talk about love and life, and you talk about relationships, and someone that has known you for almost 20 years, despite divorce, despite things that happen, that's someone that knows you, unlike anybody on this planet. And thank God that we found our way back to one another. I don't know what the future entails and to what degree we will take that. But I'm very grateful that my family is together. I'm very grateful that I have an amicable relationship with my ex-husband. And, we are a happy family of 3. And I'll take that for right now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or a month from now or a year from now. But for right now, I'm happy, I'm blessed, and I'm grateful to God that I have a second chance.
Yeah, because nobody wants to see divorce on television, especially in a reality show.
I know.
Prior to you joining the ladies
You would think people
Potomac,
would celebrate, like, me being reunited. You would think that that's something that people would, celebrate. But apparently,
people love the drama.
not
People
my
love the
friends.
drama. People are going through it at home and they love the drama. They want to see how you work your way through things that they are really experiencing because you're a superstar in their eyes.
No, that's sweet to say. For dinner tonight, am I making?
Okay.
Again, are we having leftovers? And you're like, you're a superstar. I'm like, you guys.
That's
that
real.
So
that's
sweet.
real
I just
life. You're keeping it real.
I
You're
love the
keeping it
love.
real.
I love the love.
Outside of keeping it real, you spent time as the host for QVC. What are some experiences like hosting in home shopping space?
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh, I miss QVC. It was such a fun job, and talking to. Never underestimate the connection that you can have. And I don't even have to say this to you guys. You know this. Never underestimate the connection that you can have with people, whether you're on TV or on radio and you're talking to people no matter what time in the morning or where they are in the country and connecting with them so much that they want to make a purchase from you. Like, that is crazy and amazing. It's just, that was a wonderful job, and you never know. I have circled the block many times before, like in my personal life, like what we were talking about. So you never know what may happen with me, and in terms of sales in the future on a shopping network.
It's Cafe Mocha. We're talking to one of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I want to ask you. Stacey, I want to ask you if any of your QVC
Why
customers...
are you laughing? You're scaring me.
No, I just want to ask because I'm the bad one of the group. I'm the one who asks all the inappropriate questions. I just want to know if any of your, supporters on QVC are now buying your weed products. Do they check it? He'd be like, Stacey, I bought those shoes from you and that outfit, but yeah, now I want some of the weed. I'm sorry, the product.
Listen, I am sure. Listen. I understand how people can say, okay, oh my gosh, this woman was on QVC. That is very, middle America, very, vanilla, if you will. However, a lot of people don't know about my past working in wellness. I was a yoga teacher for the White House and the CIA, and I've always been one for wellness. And let's just face it, it is facts that cannabis is something that promotes wellness in many people's lives, whether that be for illness, whether that be for anxiety, whether that be for just day to day and making it through the day, for God's sake, And so I am back in an industry where my passion lies. So it's not far-fetched if you know me, but I can understand how people are like, wait a minute, she has a cannabis line? Like, make it make sense. But I'm not out here, I'm not out here,
on the corner
selling something that is intended to, let's, have a party on a Friday night and turn up. That's not my intent. When we talk about the state of Virginia, in the state of Virginia, you have to be a patient, which means you have to have a medical marijuana card in order to be able to buy my product from a dispensary. So again, my business is grounded in wellness in the state of Virginia. And I'm very proud to be the first Black woman in the state of Virginia to own a cannabis brand. So for me, I am back to where my heart lies, which is wellness. So it's not far-fetched for me, but I can see how people, laugh and they're like, what? This is crazy. But it isn't crazy. It's where my heart lies.
But seriously, we talk about wellness. We talk about, helping ourselves relax and whatever else have you. I mean, do you have tips for people who are dipping their toe in this for the first time, sort of trying to figure out how to navigate this world and how to best use cannabis for their benefit, even just for relaxing, for anxiety. A lot of people just, I'm like, where do you even go to ask those kind of questions?
These times right now.
I know, we're stressed out.
Who are you telling? These crazy ladies, I'm stressed too. I get it. I would have to say, I would really say that in the state of Virginia, I would recommend making an appointment at a dispensary. My business partners are Juicy, which they stand for wellness like me, and it's extreme high quality, and they have pharmacists on site. Find out what you need or what is ailing you and make an informed decision with your doctor. That is what I would recommend in terms of finding out what works for you. But if outside of cannabis, what has worked for me to maintain sanity in this crazy world and doing this crazy job that I do is really just a close relationship to God, a focus on family, and a focus on gratitude. A lot of people are saying, this is your sophomore season and it's hard to see what's happening and people are piling up on you. But I have, the things that really matter in my life paramount. And so I am okay. I'm going to be all right. I'm a rise and I'm going to be all right. And I think I have shown that and I'm going to continue to do that.
It's Cafe Mocha. We're talking to Stacey Rusch from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Every time I go on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, I have to play one of those crazy games. So we here at Cafe Mocha have one for you, Stacey. This is Cafe Mocha's Espresso Quick Name Game. Yay! Okay.
Yay!
Here we go. Which housewife from your cast would you pick to sit next to on a 12-hour flight?
Dr. Wendy. Hands down. Quality conversation. We can talk fashion and we can kiki and laugh at others.
Which Hollywood stud would you like to jump out of your next birthday cake?
My ex-husband.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer.
That's my star. I'm naming a star. You
Okay.
I'm smarter than that.
Which housewife from your cast would you like to pick to share a room with on a girls' trip?
Dr. Wendy. Definitely. Yes. Yes, Dr. Wendy.
Okay, we're getting a favorite here. Okay.
I think you're getting the picture. Because it sure wouldn't be anybody else.
Which Bravo star are you looking forward to seeing at BravoCon in Vegas?
Oh my gosh. Do you know who I am so excited to see? We have been texting each other. We have been planning lunch and trying to work around our schedules because we cannot wait to meet in person. Angela, oh my God, I love her so much. We keep in constant contact with one another. So I cannot wait to see her and hang out. I just think she is a superstar. You guys are calling me a superstar. She is a superstar and a girl's girl, and I cannot wait to see her.
I love that. And before we let you go, Stacey, we understand that you speak fluent German. Can you say Cafe Mocha Radio is girl power at its finest for us in German?
Cafe Mocha is the besten für die Frauen.
Ooh, we international. We international now.
That's so funny. I am so excited and so grateful to meet you guys. Honestly, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Really, this has been really cool. Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you so much.
A wonderful second season. Everybody, please make sure you tune in to Stacey Rusch on the Real Housewives of Potomac.
You can catch Real Housewives of the Potomac Sundays, 8 p.m. on Bravo. Coming up, you know her from The Wire, If Loving You Is Wrong, and her newest role in the Netflix series, The Residents. Actress Edwina Findley next on Cafe Mocha.
We're at Cafe Mocha Radio. Socially savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Serving up more Cafe Mocha on the way.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign? No 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight?
Aha!
Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at canva.com.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha with Loni Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique on the line. She's one of my favorite actresses. Oh, I just love this sister. And now she has a new book out that we're going to talk about. Please welcome to Cafe Mocha, Edwina Findley. Hello, Edwina.
Hello, Loni. Hello, Yo-Yo. It's so good to join you today.
Oh,
and
my
welcome
goodness.
to Cafe Mocha.
It's been so long.
I know. I think the last time I saw you all was at the gala for the African diaspora. The sisters, we were all dressed in our finest African garments and looking beautiful and fabulous.
Oh, so you guys went to an event together and I wasn't invited again. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine, Edwina. I don't know you personally. Hush, Loni. I already see your face.
Angelique always get mad. First of all, how you gonna just interrupt me with my question that I want to ask my friend?
Because, I mean, you guys are friends, but I'm a fan. That deal you did on The Residence at Netflix.
That's what she want to get to, The Residence first.
Because you guys are friends. I'm just like fanning out over here. And I know a lot of people saw the show. And I know a lot of people were just, tripping on your character. So can you tell us a little bit about your stellar performance as the drunk? And if you were surprised by the response from people, or is this exactly what you expected?
Yes, and thank you for asking. And sorry you weren't invited to that one, but guess what? We know each other now, so you will be invited to the next one.
No, she won't.
You. I believe that.
With The Residence, I was in love from the moment I read the first script. I was just head over heels in love, specifically in love with Sheila. As someone that's from Washington, D.C., it is so rare that I get a chance to see a character that's from D.C., right? That's not just an implant that came to work in the White House, but the fact that she was her whole self, all her humor, all her life, cannot smoke in here, in the White House of all places. I just felt like, oh, God, I would love to represent this woman in all of her messy glory, and I just had such a strong vision of this character, and I just knew no one else can play this but me. Got it. And so most people don't know this, but I was the first person cast.
Oh, nice.
I had a 2-hour meeting with Shondaland, and I just kind of laid out what my vision was for the show and for the character and for some of the other characters, and they really listened and leaned in. And what you all saw, that came to Netflix was the final result of this just wonderful collaboration of artists. It was a fantastic cast. And yes, I still hold a lot of love in my heart for our fair Sheila in her drunkenness and in her messiness, but I felt like she also had a heart of gold, and that was really important to me to play as well.
But my disappointment is in Hollywood and how they don't give a chance to let shows that, like The Residence, your show, which was critically acclaimed. You were getting critically acclaimed. Uzo was as well.
Wait. Uzo is Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black, right? Is that?
Yes.
That's the role she played? Okay, yeah.
Hey,
I'm sorry. You guys are in Hollywood and you just be throwing around names like people know who you're talking about. Crazy Eyes. All right.
Anyway, Edwina, let's talk about the disappointment of, not letting this show continue. And it was a good quality show to me.
Yeah, listen, the question was never if it was a good quality show. The question wasn't if people were watching. It literally was. It hit number one on Netflix multiple weeks in a row. I think that a lot of, at least, what they say, is that the cost to produce a big show like that, with the all-star cast, and the many people may not know this, but the White House was built to scale. It was an exact replica of the White House. Exact. It was every fireplace, every drape, every rug, every measurement, every bust, every piece of art on the wall was an exact replica of the White House.
They couldn't have just stole a set from Scandal or something. No.
I mean, listen, I was like, Tyler got a whole White House in Atlanta.
Yeah.
No, but when Shonda does something, she does it right, and very precise and very high end. And so it was an expensive show to make. But ultimately, listen, we came into it thinking that this is a limited series. And so, anything beyond that for us was really a treat. The idea that it may go to different countries, it may be a new murder in another place. Right. But the fact that we were blessed with the time that we had on this show, I think about our dear Andre Brower, who's a phenomenal, veteran actor who was the original AB and who passed in the middle of it. And, and that meant also having to refilm the show again. So we did it kind of twice, but we did it the second time with Giancarlo Esposito, who, of course, was wonderful in the role. But yeah, there was a lot to celebrate and has been a lot to celebrate. And that's how I choose to look at it.
And the thing is that, ladies, Edwina is a true studied actor. She went to the Duke Ellington School of the Arts in Washington as a musical theater major. Can you talk about your love of the craft of acting and why you just use this is your life's calling?
Yes. I mean, ever since I was a little girl, from age 5, I was doing musical theater, singing and dancing and acting and writing, creative writing and tap and jazz and all these different things. And so by the time I got into my early teens, around 12, 13, I begged my mother to please let me go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And those of you who may not have heard of it, Dave Chappelle is one of the other, famous alumni, and Denise Graves. I mean, it's just been a wonderful array of artists who've come through. Lamont Rucker also went there. Just a wonderful array of artists. And going there really showed me the world, right? Like, my book is called The World is Waiting for You. And as a high school student, I mean, we were singing and dancing in the UK, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in the islands, in France, in Cannes. I first went to Cannes because of, high school performances, not even the Cannes Film Festival, and so it's like it opened my eyes to the possibilities as a young artist. And then, of course, coming out of school after Duke Ellington, I went to NYU and, moved to the big city, New York City, and studied drama at Tisch School of the Arts there. And so coming out of school, it really became like I had a huge desire to play a lot of different characters. And so I started with a lot of Shakespeare. So coming out of school was Shakespeare, was, classics, Cyrano de Bergerac, and these different productions. And then I got cast on The Wire. And it's like, oh, wow. Okay. So at nighttime, I'm playing like Welsh princesses. And then during the day, I'm running with Omar and like full on gangster mode against the Barksdales, the Barksdale crew. And then going back and put on these long velvet, gowns and singing in Welsh at night. And that was the start of my journey as a professional actor. And it's kind of been that way ever since, like being able to move in and out of time periods and cultures and to play, I say, both rogues and royalty, right? And kind of everyone in between. Like, for me, that's really exciting as an actor. I didn't come to the art to try to be famous. I came for the art form. And so to have worked with people like Viola Davis and, just wonderful, wonderful artists and thespians has been a blessing.
You've shared that the world is waiting on you. What was the moment that you realized that the world was waiting on Edwina?
I've had different moments of that where I've realized, like, wow, I need to show up. I need to show up on a level that people are waiting for. And sometimes in life we can get self-conscious. Sometimes we can allow fear to eclipse our dreams. Sometimes we can feel like we're unworthy or somehow that we're not enough, right? To really show up in the way that I believe we're all designed to.
Cafe Mocha celebrating 15 years of great music, empowering events, and compelling interviews. And those interviews are available on our podcast. Go to wherever you listen to podcasts and type in Cafe Mocha Radio. Then click subscribe.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is The Espresso. Former President Obama was in Virginia encouraging people to vote for governor.
Every day, this White House offers up a fresh batch of lawlessness and recklessness and mean-spiritedness and just plain craziness.
The government shutdown has airports nearly shut down. Flights in Texas, New York, Chicago are seeing 4-hour flight delays. But even before that, you have to make it through TSA.
And some places like Atlanta, Houston, passengers are having to wait up to 3 hours when checkpoints closed for short staffing.
A new movie about Sarah Rector's out.
Sarah Rector was a little girl in Oklahoma in 1914. When she turned 11, she was legally entitled to 160 acres, which ended up her owning the largest oil strike, I should say, in North America's history.
That's The Espresso.
This is Cafe Mocha. Radio from a woman's perspective.
It's Cafe Mocha. We're on the line with actress Edwina Findley. Let's jump back in.
And in some ways, I think that writing this book was a moment of manifestation, was a moment of me saying yes to my own calling, to be my whole self, right? Because for many years, I kind of was moving in between two worlds, right? Like on one side, the entertainment world, but then on the other side, the faith world, right? And so faith has always been really important to me. But as we all know, in the entertainment landscape, that's not necessarily the first thing out of people's mouths, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes people feel like they have to eclipse their faith in order to be well received in the industry and publicly. But then here I am with this calling to both worlds. And what do you do with that calling, you know? And for some people, they kind of dial it down to feel like they're more acceptable, right, to one side or the other. When I was growing up, people would say, don't go into, you know, some of the church people would say, don't go into entertainment. That's Sin City. You don't belong there, right? And so it's like when you're in between these two worlds that you feel very called to, at the end of the day, you just have to answer the call, right? Like, and so that's what it became for me, was surrendering. Like, God, what do you want me to do? And when he told me to write this book, it just really became an act of surrender. And me saying, okay, you know, I never could have imagined on the other side, my very first interview would be with none other than the Oprah Winfrey, and then Good Morning America, and then launching in South Africa and Dubai. Wow. And this week I'm leaving for Italy, you know, all for this message, the world is waiting for you, not to mention Atlanta and DC and New York. And, you know, it's just, this is just within the last month that all of these things have just opened up. And I really believe it was because I chose to say yes and to actually personally embrace that. The world is waiting for you. Embrace your calling, manifest your God dream, show up in the world like you never have before, and watch the world open up to you.
The word you said, the magic word, surrendering.
Mm-hmm. We're talking to actress and authoress Edwina Findley. Her new book is called The World is Waiting on You. More coming up on Cafe Mocha.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, actress Edwina Findley. We're talking about her new book, The World is Waiting on You. Viola Davis wrote the foreword in your book. What a wonderful woman. How did you two get your relationship started?
Yeah, well, years ago when I was at NYU, I received tickets to the Tony Awards one year. And I was so excited as a drama student, and especially because I knew that Viola Davis was nominated for a Tony Award that year, Well, she was in so many of the plays that I was studying in college. It would say originated by Viola Davis, role originated by Viola Davis. And here I was going to the Tonys. I sat there with bated breath, and sure enough, she won that year. And I was just so inspired. And afterward, as you know, a 19-year-old student, I'm about to go to the subway after being at Radio City Music Hall, and I see her and her husband Julius outside with the Tony Award. And I was just so awestruck. And I said, "Oh my gosh, can I take a picture of you?" That was before selfies. It was like, let me just take a picture of you. And so I took a picture of them. Well, maybe a year later, I was doing my first show out of college, and I ended up being invited to write a play actually for them. And that began our relationship. And after that, they said, you know, if you're ever in Los Angeles, please let us know. We would love to host you. We would love for you to come visit with us. Well, when I got cast in the show in Hollywood, they were my first call. And they said, you know, you can live with us. And as a young actress coming to Hollywood for the first time, you know, to do a show, I lived with them. And they mentored me. They took me everywhere with them, every red carpet, every magazine interview, every late night talk show. I was just right by her side, and I was observing and watching. You know, I helped them start their production company, Juvie Productions, which we started kind of right there at their kitchen table. And it's just amazing, you know, all that's happened since then. And so I feel very blessed to have Viola and Julius as mentors, as friends. You know, sometimes I feel like they're like fairy godparents to us, and I'm the godmother to their daughter. Oh. You know, it's just been a beautiful relationship. And then, you know, as God would have it, I was pitching, you know, as far as the book, and ended up at HarperCollins, and they said, you know, we're the team that published Viola Davis's book, Finding Me, and we read the things that she had to say about you in her book. And we would be so honored to publish your book as well. Wow. And so it's just been this beautiful journey of togetherness. And she wrote the foreword to the book. And I just hope that everyone that gets the book will just be so inspired to go and live your dream. Do not put it off. Don't wait. Now is the time for you to manifest that great vision that's over your life.
Well, the title of the book is called The World is Waiting on You. We've been talking to Edwina Findley, wonderful, beautiful sister, actress. Continue blessing, and everybody go out and get the book. It's a great holiday gift. Thank you so much, Edwina.
Thank you so much. And if they want to join the community, get involved. If you have the book or want the book, everyone can also go to theworldiswaitingforyou.org. Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank Congratulations.
You so much. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
And if you haven't seen The Residence on Netflix,
here we go.
Y'all better get on it.
We love you, Edwina.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.
If you missed any part of the show or you want to hear the full and complete interview, go to our podcast. Go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Cafe Mocha Radio. Until next time, you can find us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio. Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.